Good day and salutations, my friends. So happy to have you here and see all of your beautiful faces. Today, we're talking about Facebook gaming, or as some of you may know it as FB.GG. That phrase may haunt you in your nightmares. I know it haunts me in mine. Since FB.GG is quickly becoming the new TTV, especially in Warzone, where I've seen more and more people that I play against, specifically in Warzone, with clan tags that say FB.GG, which means they're streaming to Facebook gaming. And I've also gotten a bunch of questions from people. Hey, should I switch to Facebook gaming? It's the one platform we have yet to talk about on this channel. I have switched from Twitch to YouTube, which I'll link above my head right now if you're thinking about streaming on YouTube at all. So if that's something that interests you, be sure to check that out. And quickly, I want to mention that I do stream here on YouTube, like I said, every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday from 6:30 p.m. Eastern and on, and I stream on Saturdays. So if you haven't yet, pop on by. Now, of course, when you're thinking about where to stream, whether it be Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, there are key elements that we want to be looking at and keeping in mind when considering which one that we ultimately want to choose. That being competition. So how many other streamers are there? Potential viewership, how many people are actively watching on that specific channel at any given moment? And thirdly, discoverability. What are your chances at getting found by any one of those concurrent viewers? And while at the end of the day, it's not impossible to grow on any one of these three platforms, I will say that some will be trickier than others. And spoiler, the big tricky one is definitely Twitch. But when it comes to Facebook, what are we looking at? What are the numbers like? How do I know how many viewers are on there at any given moment? How do I know how many other people I'm competing with? And how do I know what are my chances of being discovered at all? And that is exactly what we're going to cover and look at by the numbers here today. And to show you guys exactly where I'm getting all of my data from, this is from Streamlabs website and their article called Streamlabs and Stream Hatchet, which collects data, Q1 2021 live streaming industry report. So this is going to look at the big three: Twitch, YouTube gaming, and Facebook gaming, and their numbers overall, hours watched, concurrent viewership, how many people were streaming to that platform, and it shows you quarter by quarter, so every 3 months, what the numbers looked like. Let's look at Facebook's unique channels over here, which I've already pulled up and you may have already taken a peek at on the right side of the screen. Twitch has just jumped up by over 1 million. You can see Facebook gaming is sitting at a little over 1 million at 1.538 million unique channels as of basically today. Now, of course, we are a little over a month and a half removed from Q1, so those numbers may be higher, maybe lower at this point. However, as far as most recent data goes to date, this is what we're looking at. And now let's go over some other numbers when it comes to Facebook gaming. Let's look at hours watched over the last quarter from Q4 of last year to Q1 of this year. Total hours watched has also taken a jump. And then going to total hours streamed, that one's also taking a very steady incline by basically exactly 5 million hours streamed. Then of course, we just looked at unique channels and then average concurrent viewership. So at any given point in time during Q1 of this year, if you were to go on Facebook or if you're streaming on Facebook, there were 489,000 people watching, like I said, at any given moment in time. Like most other stats we're going to see going through these charts is an increase from the previous quarter. So of course, when looking at these numbers, some pros you have for Facebook include the fact that it's growing massively in popularity by the day, as you can see through the amount of new unique channels that have been added quarter over quarter. And then of course, you see their average concurrent viewership, how many people are actually watching on this platform at any given moment in time, is also growing. And taking a moment to kind of step away from the in-depth data analysis, charts and numbers and all that kind of stuff. Real quick, I do want to go over some other pros I feel like Facebook has when diving into their actual platform a little bit more, some things I like about it. And then of course, later we'll talk about some cons that I feel like may prevent you from wanting to stream on Facebook. So right off the bat, I have made a fresh new Facebook page to dive into so we get a fresh look at what Facebook gaming has to offer you. I've only gone into Facebook gaming one time. As you can see now, it's recommending me J Device. I think that's how you say his name. He's a streamer that I just quickly pulled up as I was browsing through the platform right before I started recording this video. And weirdly enough, I do want to point out up here in these top 3 tabs, home, friends, groups, My main Facebook, my personal Facebook page, I did have a Facebook gaming tab here. It has disappeared since making this new account. Don't know why, don't know how to get it back there. I don't even remember putting it on my personal profile. However, it's gone, but I found a way to find it is going to this menu tab. And then down here in your entertainment is gaming video, which I find weird that they don't call it Facebook gaming. However, I know it is Facebook gaming because of the logo. And you can also find it on the left-hand side of the page here, which is pretty visible. So really overall, not too poorly laid out by Facebook themselves. It can take you to its gaming specific website pretty easily. So as far as the Facebook gaming platform itself, relatively easy to find through Facebook. You can also find it pretty easily through the normal Facebook app, as well as they have a totally separate Facebook gaming app that you can download as well, which Twitch also has. However, YouTube gaming does not. So those would be some other pros that I would say Facebook gaming has over the likes of YouTube gaming. However, like I said, Twitch already has this feature. However, something that Twitch does not have, which YouTube does, is the ability to input. As you can see, it appears people are using thumbnails for their live streams. So this is one way in which I feel like you can try to stand out on Facebook gaming, is creating your own eye-catching thumbnail for when viewers are scrolling past a ton of live streams. Then hopefully you'll catch their attention. But past that, thumbnails is kind of where we stop with the pros as far as the layout goes of the streaming platform itself, whether it be through web or app. And that kind of brings me to some cons, which I'll talk about later, but I want to finish out the list of pros. And the next pro that we have for Facebook is the fact that they have subscriptions, or I think as they call them, is to become a supporter. But going even further than that, Facebook Gaming has now introduced their own version of gifted subscriptions, like Twitch has, like YouTube Gaming does not have, which in my mind is an absolutely huge deal, especially for the growth within Facebook gaming. This is one of the big reasons why people love to stay on Twitch, is because now you're able to see the community, help support the community by giving people access to subscriptions, access to subscription benefits, things that people wouldn't have access to if they weren't able to pay for it themselves. And like I said, this is something that YouTube has yet to include in their streaming platform. They do not have a gifted members, which I feel like is really holding them back at the moment. The well of pros has dried out, and we have now come to the cons. And since we already have their website pulled up here, we'll just jump right back to it. And although I had a few decent things to mention about their platform that I liked, there's actually more that I don't like. And starting off, this is the home page of their Facebook gaming. This is right where it brought me to. Right top center, very much like a Twitch would, we have a suggested stream for me to watch. This is one I've already watched before. As I mentioned, he's the only one I've watched since making this new Facebook gaming account. And of course, I followed him to see what kind of algorithm would start to kick in once I followed a Warzone live gamer. And scrolling down, now we're getting into our suggesteds, much like a Twitch would. And of course, in the first row suggested, which most people won't go past, we have one person under 20 viewers, and the rest have well into the couple hundred viewers, which for Facebook gaming, I would assume is much like a couple thousand viewers on Twitch, which means you're more towards of the top of the line in streaming viewership. So again, much like a Twitch, which I do not like, we are now pushing even further the top streamers, the people who are already popular, people who are already going to get that fan base, just so people stay on the platform. And we're really not helping out us small streamers whatsoever. And scrolling down from that, it brings us to the popular games to watch. And of course, like I mentioned, I watched Warzone, so I would click on that if that's what I wanted to go search through. And scrolling even more, we have a feature where it shows top clips. Twitch doesn't really promote their clips front and center like Facebook does like this. But I guess this is a pretty cool feature and one way to be discovered if you have a clip go really viral. However, past these top 5 clips, I'm assuming not many people are going to be searching through it because they are mainly coming here for live streams. And then scrolling even further, we have new and rising games. So we now have a second complete row where it's showing you just games, not streamers. And then lastly, you can't scroll any further, we now have suggested games. So we've now wasted 3 entire rows with games to watch, not viewers. We actually have one row at the very top where it suggests 5 streamers. So much like a Twitch, your discoverability on this platform, it doesn't really seem like there is any at the moment. But okay, we know what game we want to watch, so let's just go into that and then see what our discoverability is like. So like I said, I love Warzone. We'll click on Warzone, and right off the bat, this is their home page for Warzone, who is gaming on Warzone at the moment. And that brings us to the top row, which only suggests 4 instead of the 5 we had in the last homepage. Of course, it's going to show you your top streamers, someone pulling 3,000, 800, 800, 1,000. So those are going to be your top streamers within this gaming category at the moment. And then scrolling even further, we have popular streamers that stream this game. So yet again, now we're promoting the top 0.1% of streamers streaming on this platform. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. So we squeeze 7 in there, although I'm sure all 7 of them have next to no problem getting people into their streams. So why not help them a little bit more by putting in those top streamers? Again, this is all ways for Facebook to keep you on their website. People want to go see the popular people, so of course they will be front and center. And I mean, they've done the work, they deserve to be there. But if you're a small streamer, this isn't really the thing that you want to be seeing in your streaming platform. So if you are a small streamer, how do we find you? Well, let's go to the live. Now we can see all the channels that are live right now. And right off the bat, it filters it by suggested. And by the looks of it, 3,000, 1.3, 1,800, 700, 500, we're being suggested from high to low viewership as it appears. And as the more we keep scrolling down, you'll see the lower the viewership numbers get. So again, much like a Twitch, you are at the bottom of the barrel, my friend. And within a streaming platform that's already growing like crazy as far as people that are streaming on this platform, that's not a good sign. Now, how can we filter this? Can we find people with next to no viewers? And our next filter is high to low. High to low. We just had high to low and suggested. Okay, let's click it. Let's see what changes. All right, well, really not much change. This guy appeared out of nowhere. I don't know where he was hiding in the suggested. But as you can see, now we've added in a few more high viewership streamers. Yeah, it's still obviously categorized by who has the most viewers. And then at the very bottom of this list will be who has the least. And like I just showed you, the suggested is practically already doing that. We're starting at 2.5 thousand viewership for this guy. And the more we scroll, the less the viewership gets. So if you're one of these 1, 2, 3, you have 0 people watching you, you will never be found on this platform unless it's by some random streamer who has scrolled and scrolled and scrolled just to randomly click on your stream. They maybe stay and watch for a little bit, and then after that, who knows when the next time someone else will randomly click on your stream as well. So although Facebook gaming is growing in popularity when it comes to the amount of people going there to actually stream, the amount of people that are going there to watch streams, if you're starting out as a small streamer, a 0 to 5, a 0 to 10 viewer streamer, I don't really see, much like Twitch, how you're going to be purely discovered on streaming alone. But let's say that in and of itself isn't enough to keep you away from this platform, which, by the way, I'm not trying to keep you from this platform. I've already listed a decent amount of pros I feel like this platform has going for it. If you can make a name for yourself by pushing traffic from probably another platform. But I also feel like it's my job to give you the full scope of things and also give you the hard truth of it. And that is obviously going to come with cons, and sometimes pretty big cons, like the ones I'm about to share with you right now. So yes, we've talked about things you need to consider when it comes to a streaming platform: discoverability, how many other creators are on the platform, how many viewers are on there to potentially discover you. But one thing we didn't mention in that list is how much can you rely on the company that you're entrusting to give you a career? Which brings me to my probably biggest con of this entire list, and that is the fact that Facebook is a little bit shady. I mean, just a couple years ago, they were caught red-handed trying to inflate their video metrics to make advertisers more enticed to choose them. In this article by The Verge, you can see it says Facebook knew about inaccuracies in the video viewership metrics that it provided to advertisers and brands for more than a year. So this also includes live streams. Are the viewership numbers what they say they are? They weren't then, are they now? And then going even further into that, even after this whole debacle, after they were caught, called out, and had to deal with the repercussions, they had yet another incident in which kind of left you wondering, do I trust this platform at all? Which brings me to another article by, again, The Verge. Facebook shorted video creators thousands of dollars in ad revenue. Basically, they stole money from creators that earned that money. Now, I'm not going to be going and reading through this whole article for you. I'll leave both articles in the description below so you can do your own research and look at it yourself so you can see firsthand what's going on and make an educated decision on whether or not you still want to pursue Facebook gaming. So at the end of the day, are we thinking Facebook is a good choice? Is it not? Should I choose another platform instead? Which one should I choose? And that, my friends, I'll be covering in my next video when I go over more detailed analytics on each one of these platforms and why I feel like you should choose one specific platform over the rest. And the answer may surprise you. But with that being said, make sure you're subscribing and turning on those notifications to get notified every single time I post more videos just like this one, and more specifically, the next video I post so you can get the answer on which one you should choose. I'll be comparing all three platforms combined by the numbers. That way you guys can have a more informed decision. But for this video, really just wanted to give you guys an in-depth look at Facebook, which obviously I wouldn't want to do comparing all three platforms together. That would be an extremely unnecessarily long video that no one would want to watch. So this kind of gives you more of a detailed, intimate look into Facebook gaming, what you're dealing with, what to expect when or if you choose Facebook gaming to stream on. And because of that, I hope you guys found it helpful and informative. If you did, then please leave a like on the video. And if you guys want to get notified when I post my next video regarding all three platforms, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications to get notified when I do so. But past that, that's all I have for this one. I'll catch you in the next one.